Hello everyone, and welcome to another video, and welcome to another compilation of scams that were going nowhere. Scott Joe thought he'd try his luck with the new in-prison version of Samantha. "Hello," he said. "How you doing?" "I've had better days," she said. "How are you doing?" "Nice meeting you here," he said. "Where are you from?" "I used to live in Exeter in Devon till they shut me up in this ghastly place. Where are you from?" "I'm from Czech Republic. Born and raised in Washington, D.C. Hope no problem if we become friends." "You mean you live somewhere in the Czech Republic? Where?" "I'm here, in Gaza City." "Where are you presently now?" "That ain't in the Czech Republic," said Samantha. "Even I know that. I'm in Sem prison near Woking." "I didn't said I'm in Czech Republic," he said. "So why the bleeding hell did you tell me you're from there?" asked Samantha. "I'm from there originally. Can't you understand that?" he said. "No, you ain't," said Samantha. "You told me you was born and raised in Washington. Why don't you start again? It ain't me what don't understand, is it? It's you. You ain't got a clue what you're talking about, do you?" "My dad was from Czech Republic, Prague," he said, "and my mum is from the state." "So you ain't from Czech Republic, is you?" said Samantha. "Tell me where you're really from." "I grew up in Washington, D.C., and I attended my military school in Czech Republic," he said. "Why the bleeding hell did you go to military school in Czech Republic? That don't make no sense at all. When was you there?" asked Samantha. "I was there when I was 20 years, Samantha." "And how old are you?" she asked. 59, he said. "And you?" "I'm 56, she said. "So you went to military school in the Czech Republic 8 years before it even existed. Pull the other leg, you bleeding liar. You ain't never been nowhere near there, have you? You ain't in the Czech military neither. What would they be doing in Gaza?" "Thanks for calling me names, Samantha," he said. "You're only too bleeding welcome," she said. "I ain't stupid, you know." "Thanks," he said. "Now tell me where you really are and where you're really trained," she said. "You said I'm a liar. Why do you want to speak with a liar, Samantha?" he said, and blocked her. Philip Anderson thought he'd try his luck with Annie. "Hello, Annie Smith," he said. "Thank you for accepting my friend request. I really appreciate. God bless you." "Good morning," said Annie. "I don't recognise your name. Are you a friend, one of my friends?" "Oh, I'm sorry, my dear Annie," he said. "I found you among people I may know on Facebook, so I decided to add you up and see how best of friends we can be to each other. I also want you to know that I'm willing and open and ready to build a friendship that would last and stand the test of time in the near future. Sometimes true friendship is hard to come, but sometimes, as well, two mature hearts could build a long-lasting friendship. So here we are. Let's give." "What do let's give?" asked Annie. What she meant to say was, what does let's give mean? "Give it a chance, my dear Annie," he said. "So tell me, where are you from, and where do you currently live?" "I'm from out Mangalinea," she said. "I was taken to Inner Wilming Land when I was 8 weeks old. I moved to Walters Land when I was 7, and I currently live in Shaftesbury in England. Where do you live?" "All right, my dear Annie," he said. "I'm born and raised in Austin, Texas. Also live and serve in Germany before I was deployed here in Syria 6 months ago for a peacekeeping mission under the United Nations, UN. So tell me, how long have you been on social media?" "Good morning from Syria." "Good evening from Shaftesbury," said Annie. "My parents opened my first social media account for me on my first birthday. I'm 56. How long have you been on social media, and which social media apps do you use?" Our man realised he was being wound up and blocked Annie. He was replaced by David Wood, who also thought he'd try his luck with Annie. "Hello, nice to meet you," he said. "Good evening," said Annie, "and it's nice to meet you too." "You got a cute name," he said. "It's my pleasure to meet you." "That's very kind of you." "Where are you from?" he asked. "I live in Shaftesbury. That's in Dorset in England. Where do you live?" she asked. "Mississippi," he said. "What do you do for work?" "That's a state," said Annie. "Where in Mississippi?" "Olive Branch," he said. "I work on the checkouts at our local supermarket." "I'm a construction engineer," he said. "Are you married? And do you have children?" Where in Mississippi? Asked Annie, again, having missed the fact that he'd said Olive Branch. Olive Branch, he said. Oh, I say, said Annie, that's the name of a place. I'm divorced with grown-up twins. What do you construct? I'm a widower, he said. My wife died of car accident 4 years ago, and I have only one son, who died in the military, and I now take care of his son. How long have you been divorced? We were divorced almost 3 years ago, said Annie. What do you construct? Oh, I see, he said. Construction engineering is a professional discipline that deals with the designing, planning, construction and management of infrastructures such as roads, tunnels, bridges, airports, railroads, facilities, buildings, dams, utilities and other projects. Have you ever dated online before? No, said Annie. I didn't ask you for a copy and paste definition of construction engineering. I asked what you construct. I'm not aware that we're dating. No, I never said we were dating, he said. I just asked a question. I never copy and paste. I just explained it to you. I've had loads of men contact me recently, said Annie. Most are brain-dead idiots that just want to know what my favourite colour is, or if I've eaten. Oh, I see, said our scammer in trepidation, scrolling quickly through his list of questions and removing, have you eaten, and what's your favourite colour? And most of them are liars, said Annie, like you, copying and pasting the definition of construction engineering from Wikipedia. Now tell me what you construct, she said. I construct bridge, airports, buildings, and so on, he said. What are you working on now? She asked. You just called me a liar, he said. Yes, said Annie, because you lied. I'm currently at home, he said. Do you want to see me on camera? You mean you're unemployed, said Annie. Not really, no. I'd prefer an apology for lying. I'm a construction engineer, he said, and I'm sorry. I just want a better way to explain it to you. What are you working on now? Asked Annie. Or are you unemployed? I work on contract, he said, and I've been bleeding for a contract for over 3 months now. So, are you unemployed? She asked again. No, I'm not. I work on contract. So I've been bleeding for this contract in Spain for over 3 months now. Then what contract are you working on? Asked Annie. And what does bleeding mean? Or are you telling me you're working on a contract in Spain and you cut yourself? No, he said. Then what are you telling me? Why are you bleeding? I mean, working to get a big contract in Spain for months now, and I pray I get the contract. So you aren't working on a contract in Spain, you are unemployed, waiting for your next contract. Yeah, he said. Tell me your experience with guys online. No, said Annie. Mind your own business. I already did tell you some of it. They're all brain-dead idiots who want to know what my favourite colour is. Oh, I see, he said, mentally scrolling through his list of questions again to see if there are any that didn't say, what's your favourite colour and have you eaten? What will you be doing if you get the contract? She asked. Then I'll have to go to Spain and work, he said. Obviously, said Annie. What will you be doing in Spain? I've just got a call from my mum. I'll be right back, he said, as his mum called him for dinner. OK, said Annie. Are you going to tell me what you'll be doing if you go to Spain? She asked a bit later. It's a pipeline maintenance and renovation project at the Gulf of Cadiz in Spain. So why did you tell me you can stretch bridge and airports? Said Annie. What kind of pipeline will you be renovating? Yes, I'm into construction of all kind, he said. Roads, bridges, roads, and even stadium and pipeline. But this time I'm not building pipelines, I'm maintaining it. OK, said Annie. What's your religion? He said, finally finding a question on his list that he thought he might be safe to ask. I'm a Ninth-day Adventist, she said. What are your hobbies? He asked. I like yogic chair dancing and underwater line dancing, said Annie. I enjoy swimming, reading, walking on the beach, fishing, camping, scrabbling, playing checkers, and seeing good comedies, he said. Are you willing to relocate if you find your soulmate? Are you in the wrong place? Asked Annie. Are you looking for answers to an online dating questionnaire? What do you mean? He said. It's just a question. I mean exactly what I said, replied Annie. What's scrabbling? I ask that every time I get that list. The answers are many and varied, but our man couldn't think of one. Are you answering my question or not? He said. No, said Annie. I'm not looking for a soulmate. What's scrabbling? Then what you looking for? He said. Why do you think I'm looking for something? What's scrabbling? Well, goodbye, he said. You mean you don't know what scrabbling is? She said. You must be stupid, he replied. For not knowing what scrabbling is? Asked Annie. I don't know what it is, he said, and it's my hobby. If you don't know what it is, why did you tell me it's your hobby? Asked Annie, at which point our man blocked her. He was speedily followed by Jackson M. Fraser. It was one of those days in Scamland. Annie was getting lots of requests. None of them seemed to have a brain. Not that that's unusual. Hi, Annie, he said. Hi, said Annie. How are you doing? He asked. I'm Jackson. Thanks for accepting my friend request. I don't recognise your name, said Annie. Are you a friend of one of my friends or one of my children? Actually, dear, he said, I saw your profile on my Facebook page as people you may know. I like your profile. You look beautiful and attractive, so I decided to send you a friend request, and I'm glad you accepted my friend requests. A pleasure to meet you. That's very kind of you, said Annie. Dear, if I may ask, where are you from? Are you happily married, with kids? I live in Shaftesbury in Dorset, in the west of England, she said. I'm happily divorced. He was a two-timing bastard. We have grown-up twins. Wow! That's a nice place to live, he said. I'm glad you let me know. Dear, I'm a native of Casper, Wyoming, but I've spent most of my adult life in the military service around the world, due to the nature of my job. Why did you say you live in NJ, then? Asked Annie. Dear, my hometown is Casper, Wyoming, but I currently live in Atlantic City, New Jersey, with my son. If you live in Atlantic City, why on earth did you tell me you live in Casper, Wyoming? Well, I'm so sorry if I have say that in any way. I live in Atlantic City, and I was born in Casper, Wyoming. That's my hometown. I have no idea what all that muddle means, said Annie. So when I say I live in Shaftesbury, what I really mean is that my mother comes from out Mangalinia. My father was Austrian, but his father was really from Papua New Guinea. I was born in Inner Lilydom and brought to Bournemouth when I was 3 weeks old. I lived in Shaftesbury for 3 years, but for the last 53 years I've lived in Salisbury, until I moved back to Shaftesbury last week. Anyway, he continued, completely confused, dear, I think it good to know more about each other, because that will bring more understanding. I think I understand you very well already, said Annie. Tell me what you do for a living, as in, what do you do now, not what did you do 20 years ago when you lived in some other random place. To which our man replied, I grew up in Casper, Wyoming, my hometown, but my education took me to so many places in the United States. Before my military career, I got a BA in political science, United States Air Force Academy, and that's in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And after that, I went to Squadron Officer School, Maxwell Air Force Base, Alabama, before moving on to Air Command and Staff College, Maxwell Air Force Base, Alabama. I have a Master of Science in Political Science, Auburn University, and National War College, Fort Leslie, J. McNair, Washington, D.C. Did you read what I said? Asked Annie. Tell me what you do for a living, as in, what you do now, not what did you do 20 years ago when you lived in some other random place. I'm the Commanding General of the United States Air Force, 5th Air Force, and Senior Commander of Fort Sam Houston, now part of Joint Base San Antonio, retired, but was called back to the United Nations. I'm currently serving as the Commanding General, Combined Security Transition here in Syria, regarding to the UN peacekeeping mission, and I have just 2 months to round up my mission over here, after which I will return back to the state. OK, said Annie. Do you have 2 MSc degrees? No, my dear. I have just 1 MSc degree, and I also holds a bachelor's degree in political science from the US Air Force Academy. And why did you say you have an MSc from Auburn University and one from the National War College? Asked Annie. OMG, he said. Did I say that? I'm so sorry about that. Ah, said Annie. Which one is right? To which our man replied, What's the time over there? It's 11:30 p.m, said Annie. What time is it where you are? Are you on bed? Ready to sleep? He said. It's 1:32 a.m. over here in Syria. I'm more interested in making good friendships with you, in honesty, trust and sincerity. Even though we just met each other, maybe as time goes on, We may be more than friends." "More interested than what?" asked Annie. "I said, good friendships, my dear." "You said, I'm more interested in making good friendships." "More interested than in what?" she asked. "I'm off to bed now." "OK, dear," he said. "Have a lovely night. Sleep tight. Talk to you soon." "You still haven't answered my question," said Annie when she got up the next morning. "Please tell me you aren't one of those men that types meaningless rubbish because you think it sounds impressive, but have absolutely no idea what they're talking about." "What do you mean, Annie?" asked that man, who clearly didn't have any idea what he was talking about. "I seek friendship with you, which was why I wrote you. I think it's appropriate to begin by knowing each other." "OK," said Annie. "Let me split this into easy steps for you. You said, I'm more interested in making good friendships. More interested in making good friendships than in what? What are you more interested in? What are you less interested in? Because you aren't inspiring me with your honesty, trust and sincerity, if you can't even explain what you're talking about." To which our man replied, "Dear, after my wife died, I felt very lonely and empty inside, as if people were falling on me. I did not know what to do with myself. I was in pain and regret for several months, and also have to live for my son, so I'm much stronger now. Well, I hope I do not tire you with the story of my life. Anyway, there's still more to learn about me, but I have to stop here to give you a chance to ask more about me. I just want to be a friend, truthful, honest and sincere." "I guess you aren't going to answer my question," said Annie, "so goodbye. I don't want a chance to ask more about you. You haven't even answered the one question I have asked." "I just answered your question," he said. "OK," said Annie, "as you clearly have reading difficulties, I'll repeat it, for your convenience. If you can't stroke won't answer, I'll assume you're an idiot and you just copied and pasted that sentence without A, reading it, or B, having any idea what it means. I'm interested in making good friendship and having you my cute friend for a better future," he said. "And you should know that having you as my friend will make things better for me and keep me alive." "I very much doubt if you'll die without my friendship," said Annie. "You know, ever since my wife died, I've never been in contact with any woman, and I will really say you are irresponsible to be with." "Why don't you expand on the riveting Hans Christian Andersen tale of your current service in Syria?" said Annie. "Irresponsible what?" "I see you as a responsible woman. That's why I chose you as my cute friend," he said. "OK," said Annie. "Why don't you expand on the riveting Hans Christian Andersen tale of your current service in Syria?" "You don't even know who my name," he replied, and blocked her. Then along came McKinley Darden. "Hey, Annie," he said. "Hi." "How are you?" he asked. "Sorry for the delayed response." "I'm fine, thanks," she said. "Explain, if you would," he replied. "I need luxury." "Are you OK?" "What on earth are you babbling on about?" said Annie. "Have you been smoking the wacky backy? Why on earth does I'm fine need an explanation? And if you need luxury, you're in the wrong place. This is Facebook, not the Ritz Hotel." "What are you talking about?" he said. "I was just making conversation." "You call writing total nonsense making conversation? You some kind of nutcase," she said. "Explain, if you would, please." Stuck for an explanation, a man blocked her. He was replaced by John Williams, whose profile says he's an engineering technician at Expert in Exploration Geophysics. Oh good, I do like a conversation with a scammer who has an interesting speciality. Oh, hang on, wait. "Hello, Annie," he said. "Good morning," said Annie. "Good morning, good day. How are you doing?" he asked. "It was the middle of the night when you sent that," replied Annie. "Oh, sorry about that. I think our time zone varies. Where are you from?" "I'm from Shaftesbury in England. Where are you?" "Oh, I'm also from England," he said. "Birmingham." Sorry, that's my best attempt at a Birmingham accent. "But I'm currently at Norway for work. I think there's little or no time difference." "I don't know," said Annie. "What do you do in Norway?" "I'm here because of my work," he said. "Meaning," replied Annie, "I asked you what you do in Norway." "I'm an expert in exploration geophysics." Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. "That sounds fascinating," said Annie. "What does it mean?" "An engineer, for appropriate description," he said. What on earth does that mean? Tell me what exploration geophysics means, please. It's a part of engineering that entails both structural and geophysical and parts of electrical engineering. I dread to imagine what he thinks he's doing. That doesn't tell me what it is, said Annie. What do you actually do? Or do you mean you excavate caves and fit them out with lights? Oh, what it's basically that I design and explore natural Earth's interiors, electrical parts, its properties, and predict what's going to happen. LOL. No, he said, in reply to her asking if he excavated caves and fitted them with lights. What does that mean? Try putting it in English, please, said Annie. What electrical parts do natural Earth's interiors have? Though we also check caves out to confirm its constituents, try to come up with models on how it was formed. You're not getting me, are you? That makes a bit of sense, said Annie. Please rewrite that first sentence so it makes at least a little bit of sense. No, I'm not getting you because you're typing meaningless rubbish. So try ever so hard to write it in a simple, understandable way. Excuse you, he said. If you read carefully, you'd get it. I don't need excusing, said Annie, and I have read it carefully. That's how I know it's meaningless rubbish. Let's do it one step at a time. What does design natural Earth's interiors mean? Electrical parts and Earth's interiors are two different things, he said, but it's both part of my job. So is designing of building structures, which I also parts of the field, but I don't do that. Let's do it one step at a time, said Annie. What does design natural Earth's interiors mean? More like bringing outdoors in by incorporating natural induced materials into the home. So obviously he's talking about that style of architecture where you have large picture windows and your inside flows to your outside. So as suitable electrical parts, he replied. OK, that sounds more like an interior designer than a geophysicist, said Annie, and I'm not sure our exploration comes into it. And what does so as suitable electrical parts mean? Why can't you just explain in sensible English that actually means something? Or do you enjoy making up meaningless rubbish as a game to see if people notice? I think you're smart, he said, but you're just as dumb. As dumb as you, said Annie. No, I can write proper sentences. You have no idea what you're talking about, do you? You said I should explain this, he said, in reply to her saying, what does design natural Earth's interiors mean? And I did. You did, said Annie. You told me about being an interior designer. Then you added, so as suitable electrical parts. What does that mean? You didn't explain how being an interior designer involves exploration. As a geophysicist, I do this, he said, and more like checking on natural occurrences and its constituents, and do natural predictions. So you design house interiors, fit random electrical parts, and then check on natural occurrences, replied Annie. If you read carefully, said our deeply confused scammer, I also made mention of this as a form of explanation. Please stop being effing rude, said Annie. If you typed carefully, something that made sense, I'd know what you're talking about. Reading your ridiculous rubbish carefully just makes it sound worse. So stop typing meaningless rubbish and insulting my intelligence, or go away. I don't know why I'm even wasting my time explaining myself, he said, if you intend being dumb. That's it, said Annie. Idiot. Goodbye. Please kindly off, he said. Go and try scam someone else, said Annie, but you'll need to find someone brain dead to succeed. Oh, and at least pretend to have an occupation you understand. That's what Sophie thinks of him. Oh, and at least pretend to have an occupation you understand. Try toilet cleaner, street cleaner, village idiot. Oh, you're dead on the brain, he said. No wonder, 'cause you have nothing inside. You're a dumb... I at least have enough intelligence to know that you're talking rubbish and have absolutely no idea at all what an exploration geophysicist does. You're just as stupid as it comes, he said. I doubt you even know what geophysicist means, let alone exploration, replied Annie. So scamming in number 1, stop trying to scam, you're too stupid to do it. Scamming in number 2, get a proper job, I'm sure someone near you's looking for a cleaner or a porter. Scamming in number 3, grow up and at least learn to act like a proper man instead of an idiotic teenager. Our man disappeared, and if you're looking at the screen, you'll see that for some reason at least 2 of those messages didn't get sent. My broadband comes and goes. It probably decided to go. I don't blame it. I hope you enjoyed this compilation of scams that were going nowhere. If you did, you know what to do. Please like it. Please share it. Please comment down below. Please subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified every time a video goes live. And I'll see you again in another video.